Mzansi, and welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Palisa Dembe, and as we usher in lockdown level 1, we're also ushering an age of young people of color who feel represented in the media. Later, we're connecting with clinical psychologist Sikanda Kala to discuss the importance of representation for young children, as we of course meet the founders of UK's first magazine created for young black girls and boys. We'll also be meeting entrepreneur Omar Tom, who has made a name for himself as a catalyst for Middle Eastern culture in the business world. And we're kicking it all off with an exciting announcement about the inspiring Sponsors of Brave campaign. Now, the 12 o'clock has hit, and that means we're officially in level 1. So on social media, I want to find out from you, how are you feeling about the big move? I know me, I'm so excited. Ladies in the kitchen, happy level 1.
Happy level 1, South Africa. Happy level 1. I am not riding alone, as you know. I am riding with a new chef, another chef in the kitchen today, and that is Chef Carrie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, and you?
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to actually joining you very soon, since level 1 has hit us. And South Africa, we will be making a herzogie tart today. And if you want the recipe details and ingredients, make sure to go to afternoonexpress.co.za. But for now, let's catch up with Sponsors of Brave.
Season 1 of Sponsors of Brave brought you amazing stories of those displaying acts of ordinary courage and compassion that put healthcare first. In partnership with Adcock Ingram OTC, we're now bringing you Sponsors of Brave, the next generation. This new season shines a light on young students aspiring to be in the healthcare sector. Adcock Ingram OTC is creating a platform for healthcare students and recent graduates to realize their dream of serving our beloved country. This is the next generation of Brave. We chat to Yudhvir Singh, the spokesperson of Adcock Ingram OTC Sponsors of Brave, and South African journalist legend Derek Watts. Welcome back to the Loft, gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Palisa. Great to be here.
It's always lovely touching base. I mean, Yudhvir, tell us all about the success of Season 1 of Sponsors of Brave.
Sponsors of Brave campaign Season 1 was imagined in August 2019, and its life began well ahead of COVID-19. Its ambition was always to recognize and reward healthcare professionals for their untiring and unselfish service to our beloved South Africa. This became even more meaningful upon the emergence of the coronavirus. Season 1 saw nearly 3,800 nominations with close to 17,500 votes, which were cast. We also received the top honors at the World Association of Newspapers and News Publishers 2020 African Digital Media Awards. Out of the 3,800 nominations, 12 were selected, and out of those, it saw 2 final winners, which were Dr. Hugo Templeman and Nantutuzuru Sabango.
Yeah. I mean, you just gave me such a flashback. I feel like we're back in Season 1. What a success it truly was. But Yudhvir, what is now the difference with Season 2 of Sponsors of Brave, the next generation?
So Season 2 of Sponsors of Brave, the campaign aims to promote career development in the healthcare sector. The campaign looks at the next generation of healthcare professionals. So what we are trying to do at Adcock Ingram OTC is create a platform for healthcare students and recently qualified healthcare graduates, community service incumbents, to realize their dream of serving South Africa. We've embarked on a journey to aid these students financially in their studies and to provide them with impactful mentorship from academic, professional, and industry leaders. And this campaign is not just about these fearless young people and their mentors, but also a call to all South African residents to recognize, celebrate, and empower the next generation of brave healthcare professionals in our society by nominating them for this worthy prize.
Yudhvir, then why is this such an important initiative to Adcock Ingram?
So if you look at during COVID-19, we had schools closed, universities, certain businesses had to close during various stages of lockdown. Each and every one of us had significant changes in our daily living, which we've experienced. This is somewhere resulted in the dampening of the spirit of many South African residents. We are seeing that the true heroes are our healthcare professionals, and their dedication and support during the pandemic is a testament to bravery in light of this, and to work towards restoring belief and hope. It is our ambition to encourage the budding healthcare professionals of South Africa to continue to make a difference in the world and to recognize many individuals for their selfless sacrifice.
I mean, thank you so much, Yudhvir, for bringing this. Now, Derek, on your side, you were a judge on Season 1. So what does bravery mean to you, if we could just touch base on that one more time? And what will you be looking for in this next season? Why is it a little different?
Yeah, Blaise, I think it's very different. I mean, they grew up in quieter times. There wasn't the pandemic, no panic of being surrounded by patients possibly carrying the coronavirus. So I can't imagine what it's like to be in some terribly hazardous situations around the country. And then I've seen absolutely incredible work being done at many public and private hospitals with interns and young nurses working round the clock without complaint. So it's time to recognize that emerging force of pharmacists and healthcare workers across the board. Yeah. And I'm sure the response this time around will be just as fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, this is exactly why it's key, because there's so many emerging talents out there that are so passionate about the healthcare profession. So then, Derek, why do you think that it's so important to highlight these nominees and give them a platform to grow and have hope?
I think it's important because really they're the people who are going to look after us in the years to come. And don't look at me when I said that. I think many young people are overwhelmed by social media. I don't know if you agree. They read the tweets and the Instas of the rock stars, those in the limelight who appear to be living the life, the mansions, the supercars, the champagne flowing. So it's easy for those working quietly in hospitals or in pharmacies, feeling almost insignificant, that their job's not all that important, when the truth is just the opposite. Take our jobs as presenters. We get the recognition to a great extent, but it's the camera and sound operators, the producers, who are the real heroes. So, Palais, I think it's all about recognition, exposing the mind-blowing work that some young people do and rewarding them in every way, along with wonderful prizes and opportunities to extend their career paths. So, we salute and empower the next generation of Adcock Ingram's sponsors of Brave.
Halala, indeed, halala. I'm so excited about this, Yudhvir. Please may you tell me more about the mechanism of the competition, how it works, and why is it important for the people at home to nominate these heroes?
Palisa, I can't reiterate all what Derek just said anymore. It is so important to recognize these individuals. There are certain individuals out there, healthcare professionals, who are overcoming significant challenges and difficulties, but still serving our country and our people. And I encourage everyone at home to go and nominate these deserving individuals. You could even nominate yourself, and you could stand a chance to win one of 10 5,000 weekly prizes. Also, if you are a current healthcare professional and you'd like to be a mentor, you could also nominate yourself to become a mentor. And there's also a prize. If you are chosen as a mentor, you stand a chance of winning a congress or an overseas congress of their choice. In order to nominate yourself, you could use any search engine, including Google, and Google Sponsors of Brave. And it will come up, and you can click on the link with partners.24.com, and it will take your page with all the details on how to nominate yourself or a deserving student.
Wow, the opportunities here are endless for everyone to get involved. Please may you also tell me then, Yudhvir, about Hopetober. Now we hear that you are all setting off on a big double-decker bus tomorrow to spread hope.
So the Hopetober bus, it's in order to give hope to various individuals. If we look at the pandemic and who were our true heroes in the pandemic, these were the healthcare professionals. What we are trying to do is take hope through song to these individuals. We're going to various hospitals around the country in the three major cities, Johannesburg, Pretoria, and Cape Town. We have various artists who are going to be on the bus with us, who will be singing and bringing joy and hope to these individuals. And we encourage everyone to partake in it, obviously within the COVID-19 regulations that we currently abide by.
Gentlemen, thank you again for bringing this season 2 of Sponsors of Brave, Adcock Ingram OTC. The next generation seems to be so hopeful, so bright, and I'm so excited to see everyone that's about to get nominated. Fingers crossed and goodbye.
Cheers for now.
Bye. Now, you can catch the bus live tomorrow morning on the Expresso Show, so make sure that you tune in. Now, you at home can get involved by nominating yourself or a deserving student, and you could win one of 10 5,000 Rand weekly prizes. Featured nominees could also stand a chance to win an impactful mentorship with a healthcare professional in their chosen field, and a chance to win one of 2 25,000 Rand scholarships. To get nominated, go to partners.24.com/sponsors of brave/nominations.
He is a great inspiration to me. I am able to face challenges head on.
We want to acknowledge the healthcare students tirelessly volunteering during COVID-19.
She's been a role model. She has given me so much confidence.
and give them hope for their future after this pandemic.
Here I am now, it's 10 years later, and I'm still trying to follow in his footsteps.
We're looking for current and aspiring healthcare students, graduates, interns, or those doing the community service here. Nominate yourself, receive nurturing mentorship, experience health work readiness, and stand a chance to win a 25,000 Rand scholarship. And for the mentors associated with the winner, you'll win an overseas trip to attend a medical conference of your choice. Sponsors of Brave, the next generation of Brave.
I think that this is the right time, the perfect time, ladies, to usher in this new generation because you know what? Started from the bottom, now we're here, and I'm loving to see the inspiration that's coming from it.
I love it. Absolutely. I mean, what does bravery actually mean to you, Kerry?
Oh, opening a restaurant after 6 months of being closed.
That's amazing.
That sounds iconic to me. I mean, we've asked everyone on social media the very same question. What does level 1 mean to you? And we've got Dimak Atso who says, well, it's been like I've been born again. Freedom, hashtag Afternoon Express. Let's keep those comments coming, South Africa. Now coming up, we chat with entrepreneur, public speaker and cultural change agent Omar Tom as he breaks down how he's connecting businesses and communities together. Tom, commonly known as OT, is an entrepreneur, strategic planner, educator, and public speaker. OT is the co-founder and partner at Ducant Media, a marketing and cultural consultancy known in the industry as the leader in contemporary Middle Eastern culture, through which OT has made a name for himself in the industry as a cultural expert and catalyst, connecting businesses and communities together. OT, welcome to the Loft.
Hi, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Now, welcome all the way from Dubai. I mean, Omar, you were born in Sudan and you're the eldest brother of 4. Much like your father is a self-made entrepreneur, your mother is a pharmacist who became an educator and a social worker. However, very early on, you were made very aware of the racial inequalities and discrimination from a very young age. Please, may you just take me through that?
I am the eldest of 4 boys, and growing up in our household, especially growing up in a place like the Middle East, where it's quite a diverse space. I went to a school of about 3,000 students all the way till 12th grade. For the most part, it was all kind of backgrounds, different races, nationalities from all parts of the world. Private school, which was probably great for me academically, which is son of immigrant parents, that's what they always want, academic performance constantly. And that's what they've pushed us for. But I think the one part we all overlooked was the social lifestyle of things. And from a very young age, one of the earliest experiences that I remember that happened with me back in 1st grade was that I was told by the other kids that I can't play with them because my skin was the color of poo. And that was my very first experience with it. Then it made it very clear that the rules of society have been set differently for some of us.
Now, Omar, you do say that there was a moment in high school that didn't make sense to you. You saw the love and admiration for Black people on TV and in music. Yet in your daily life and in class, Black people were just treated differently. Now, it was that realization and that moment that led you into the path in the media industry.
Yeah, so I think that was a high school realization for me. I mean, looking at things like Martin and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and hip-hop artists that, watch the TV, like all these shows growing up as part of our childhood and that we get quite nostalgic about today, that gets always is admired and is coveted in ways that you will never be. And that sort of, in high school, I made that connection quite early on. I'm like, great. But and I think in a lot of ways, that was the driving force why I played varsity, why I was the MVP in multiple sports in school, because, if you play a sport, the interaction suddenly changes. You're treated differently if you're on the team, So I made sure I was on every sport team I can get myself into.
As the world goes through a pandemic, what are the most invaluable things that you learned about yourself besides earning a PhD in quarantine? To correction. So I think I've managed to do a lot during quarantine. I think that I joke about this PhD. Really, it's just because I'm a post-kidney transplant patient. So I have a PhD in quarantining because I've been quarantined before as part of my medical recovery. And that has been a great journey. That was by the time COVID came about and we were in lockdown, I sort of already had this experience where I knew what to do. I've set a schedule for myself, that's sort of a day-to-day timetable on an hourly basis of things I wanted to do. And it's fluid. It's just the idea of having a universe that I need to live by, a structure, if you will, that I need to live by. Omar, for kids out there who find themselves in those same predicaments as you, finding it hard to accept who they are, what words of advice and encouragement do you have?
I'm a big believer in rock your natural self, own up to your natural self, your natural colors, who you are. That in itself is a statement. I think our pride in who we are is a statement in progression and is a statement in change moving forward. Rejecting post-colonial mentalities and finding what is our new normal for ourselves. And I think COVID has played a role in that, where more people like us are creating more content. We're more visible online, on video and podcasting content. We're creating content for people like us. So, people like my baby brother and my younger relatives, as they grow up, they see their likeness on television and they see what's attainable. So for the adults in us, there's a responsibility we have towards the younger guys, that we always want to make sure that we're providing them with the right information in the right direction, and making sure that we play a role in that, of acceptance of ourselves first. And then I think in that acceptance and in that sense of peace, that they can see these lessons and be able to lead by example.
Wow. Omar Tom, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We truly do appreciate it. Congratulations on everything that you've done. You've definitely been able to be in the shining light that we all need to see within the media space. Goodbye.
Thank you very much for having me.
South Africa, on social media, you already know what time it is. Use that hashtag Afternoon Express on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And let's share in the celebration of ourselves.
You know, Palisa likes to say representation, representation, representation. I love what they're doing. I absolutely love what he's doing, showing people that they can actually stay true to themselves.
No, totally. I mean, why try and be somebody else? You are who you are and be true to yourself.
Yeah. So true.
And that is essentially what we're all about here on Afternoon Express. You have to express yourself. Let us in on what's deep down inside. And a lot of people have a lot of feelings talking about what's deep down inside when it comes to us moving to level 1. So let's hop on over to social media and see what everyone has to say. We have got Jocelyn who says, hi guys, I'm happy for level 1. No, I got a chance to go and visit my family. I can travel. I'm very happy. I'm in Worcester. Oh, shout out to you, Jocelyn, all the way in Worcester. We're lovely to have you. And also, if we just have a look here at Gaza, Ukaza says, I'm feeling great, guys. I don't want to lie. What excites me the most is that I get to attend weddings and churches and other gatherings. Hashtag Afternoon Express. Now, honey, I'm also excited to get my praise on in church. I'm looking forward to traveling as well. So, halala level 1, halala. Now, launched back in June, Cocoa Girl and Cocoa Boy are the UK's first magazines dedicated to black girls and boys. Coming up, we meet the mother-daughter team behind this incredible creations, Serlina Boy. On all you incredible, fun-loving women, because on the search for their Soleil Squad, 3 young, radiant women who represent what the brand is all about. Miss Soleil is confident in who she is, embraces her quirks, and lets her inner and outer glow shine, all while inspiring and uplifting her sisters. To enter, visit the website, upload a video clip and photo, and tell Bic why you should be a part of their Miss Soleil Squad. Entries close on the 30th of September, and T's and C's apply. Miss Soleil, your shine, your way. rewarded for your shopping choices with Buy Smart. Send hi on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps. You will stand a chance of winning incredible prizes. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, how often does someone say to you that just by following a few short steps, you can stand a chance to win great and incredible prizes, such as a queen-size bed, a fridge, a washing machine, or a smartphone? It's your chance to get rewarded with points and so much more when you buy Tiger Brands products and stand a chance to win incredible weekly prizes when you sign up to Buy Smart. Now, if that doesn't sound exciting for you enough with this ongoing competition, I don't know what will. You can stand a chance to sign up with Buy Smart and win incredible prizes. Now, how much more easy can it be by simply scanning the Buy Smart QR code on your cell phones right from the comfort of your living rooms on your TV screens? And if that isn't easy enough, all you have to do is send hi on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps. Browse Buy Smart promos and products. Upload your till slip when you've purchased qualifying products. Receive points for your purchases and then use those points to unlock rewards like airtime, data and shopping vouchers. It's quick, it's easy, and you can sign up on the go. Now, don't forget that you can also sign up to Buy Smart by scanning the QR code on your TV screens, and you automatically stand a chance to win amazing weekly prizes. A queen-size bed, a fridge, a washing machine, and a smartphone are all up for grabs. T's and C's apply, so make sure you sign up ASAP, and you'll never know, it might just be your lucky day. Get rewarded for your shopping choices with Buy Smart. Send hi on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps. You will stand a chance of winning incredible prizes. Today we meet Sarlina Boyd, who is the founder of Coco, the UK's first black children's magazine, Coco Girl and Coco Boy. In 4 weeks, the magazine grew a readership of over 10,000 children. The overwhelming positive feedback and demand for this magazine confirms the crucial need to build a strong community for young girls and boys who are often misrepresented by mainstream media globally. Sarlina, welcome to the Loft.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So, Lena, you're joining us all the way from the UK, but please may you just talk to us about how you created the UK's first ever magazine for young girls and boys.
Well, I literally wanted to find a magazine during the lockdown. Every country's experienced the lockdown, and a magazine that would keep my daughter entertained and also represent her in some shape or form. And when I looked in the supermarket, I was shocked to see that there wasn't a magazine that even had one image of her or a girl that looked like her in the magazine. So we decided to create our own.
Selena, this magazine has grown so deeply and so vastly in such a short amount of time that you've even created Coco Boy magazine. But there's so much negative stereotyping that surrounds young black males within our mainstream media. How is this breaking down those negative stereotypes?
It's changing this narrative because these boys are actually creating the content. And a lot of the careers that are thrown at them is that you can be a rapper, you can be, just it's very limited on what they can be when they're older. So Coco shows them lots of role models, doctors, lawyers, people with different job titles they've never heard of. And they are actually saying, wow, I'd like to do that. There's even a little boy, he's about 10 years old, and he codes robots, and he's teaching children how to do that. So that's where I think the magazine is different. It's showing these children a bit more that they can be when they're older.
Please may you just share some more of those stories, those young children who've contributed to the magazine Coco Girl and Coco Boy. How do you go about selecting these stories?
Well, some of the children, their parents write into me. So during lockdown, there were a lot of young entrepreneurs doing remarkable things. We had a little girl who makes her own hair products because, of course, the stores that you'd normally buy your hair products for Afro hair in this country were locked down during, whatever's been happening. So she had to make her own hair product, which was healthy. She didn't like the ingredients she saw in the ones that were in the big stores. And we have children like that. We have just amazing children whose parents just tell us about them all the time.
You know, I saw a little clip on YouTube of you and your daughter, Faith, just sitting side by side and sharing everything that Coco Girl has also empowered her with. And I think that that's what's just so special. She speaks about her beauty. She speaks about her love, her courageous spirit. And I think that that's essentially what we want to give to everyone else. Is this the message and the reason you decided to create this magazine? Because there just wasn't enough representation for our Black young girls and boys.
Well, the thing is, I would say in December, Faith started to look at her hair and she used to look at her skin tone and say, Mummy, I don't look like any of the girls in my class, because she's the only Black girl in her class. And, you know, she was actually, you know, being taunted a little bit by her outward appearance. And I said to myself, Faith, you're beautiful. I'm going to show you why. And we produced a book, first and foremost, and we talked about hair, skin tone, and then it just grew from there. My need to just show her just how beautiful she was by putting different things in front of her, like dolls or magazines that we've now created. So we get lots of mothers who are writing us and saying, you don't know the difference this magazine is having on our children. Our girls want to wear their hair out now in an afro. They just love who they are. And we always affirm the children in these magazines as well. We have affirmation pages throughout it too.
Taking a very practical exercise here to build our young ones. I love that. You know, when you touch base about embracing the afro, it takes me back to 6-year-old me when I was Faith's age. I used to take my t-shirts, turn them inside out, put them over my head and act as if I had Caucasian hair. And this is essentially the narrative we want to change. We want to embrace our curly locks and love ourselves, melanin popping and all. So Lena, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and sharing Coco Girl and Coco Boy with us. Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
South Africa, please do head over to our social media pages. If you think that you could resonate with all things Coco Girl and Boy, and if you think we need representation for our young children within our country, la Mzansi.
I absolutely love that. I actually wish that when I was younger, we actually had more magazines like that, because at least now my son has actually something to look up to if he were to get his hands on this. I actually should try and see if we can get it here in South Africa. But I want to focus on something. We're on level 1 now. Palisa, you've been asking the viewers, what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, I think it's 2 things. One is definitely being able to go back to the Eastern Cape to see my family. And number 2, we can hopefully start serving dinner at Trin. So that's exciting.
You know, I think so many people are so happy about the opportunities of jobs and being hired again, which leads me to social media. I mean, everyone's been using that hashtag Afternoon Express. But if I were to read a comment here that really touched me, it says, I'm feeling great with level 1 because our job applications are being responded. I just got back from an interview. So, South Africa, let us all go over and wish her luck. I hope that you get that the job. I'm sure you made a sterling impression. Hey, Dooms?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Because, I mean, during these times, hearing that people are actually getting called back means now companies are opening and now our economy can go back to how it was, or even better, actually.
Yeah, I love that. With one more comment, South Africa, from Rilabugeli. Yeah, we're Tumi. Yeah, well, Tumi is my plug. I love it. I love my Dumza. Okay, they say, I can't wait to see my parents and my siblings. Oh, me too. I can't wait to go over to Durban. But coming up, clinical psychologist Sikanda Kala weighs in on the importance of young girls and boys of color seeing themselves represented in mainstream media.
We want to acknowledge the healthcare students tirelessly volunteering during COVID-19.
She's been a role model. She has given me so much confidence.
And give them hope for their future after this pandemic.
Here I am now, it's 10 years later, and I'm still trying to follow in his footsteps.
We're looking for current and aspiring healthcare students, graduates, interns, or those doing the community service year. Nominate yourself, receive nurturing mentorship, experience health work readiness, and stand a chance to win a 25,000 Rand scholarship. And for the mentors associated with the winner, you'll win an overseas trip to attend a medical conference of your choice. Sponsors of Brave, the next generation of Brave.
It's important for children and adolescents of color to see great and positive examples of people who look like them, be represented in screen and in the media, as it's important to create self-worth and helps with identifying the human you are within the inside. Now, to discuss all this important topic is clinical psychologist Sikanda Kala. Sikanda, welcome back to Afternoon Express.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Now, what are the psychological benefits for young boys and girls when they see black being represented in the media?
I think it's so important from a perspective of emulating positive attributes, positive qualities. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at social learning theory and you combine that with neuroplasticity, which means the brain's adaptation response to unlearning, relearning, taking in new information, progressing in that regard. When we think about children in particular, they may learn things that are perhaps not ideal for their development or their growth, and that may be as a result of being represented in stereotypical ways that maybe for historical reasons has been portrayed in a negative light. I think it's important then to start putting positive role models forward so that people can really develop into emulating those sort of positive qualities. And I would say in that regard, it plays a massive role in unlearning, relearning, moving beyond the stereotypes, also aspirational goals, knowing that everything is possible and within reach. I think it really does set the ground for future development.
But then, Sikanda, what have been the consequences of a lack of such representation?
If there's a lack of opportunities for individuals of color, classically there's been a portrayal of having maybe a token representation that matches a stereotype. Yeah. And what that ends up doing is it perpetuates ways of stereotyping individuals. Yeah. So I think that's where we see stereotypical representation, but also a lack of representation in which we can resonate with it, that addresses core issues that we face. We all carry our own narratives, our own storylines. We all live in such a diverse space where there's so much nuance from a cultural perspective, from a religious perspective, from a racial perspective. There's so much nuance into the day-to-day intricacies of our lives. And sometimes if something does not resonate with you in a way that really touches you, it then becomes very difficult for you to feel included in that social space, to feel respected and to have a dignified way of navigating through the world through that form of representation.
And I just personally have to find out, Sikanda, with this cancel culture that we have so often on Twitter and on the social media streets, when we see people misrepresenting us or representing us in a negative light, we all love to just flock and say, you know what, they're done. They're cancelled. Does this play a pivotal role in changing the narrative?
Well, I think it speaks to the fact that we are quite emotionally reactive to issues because this has been a systemic and structural issue that has been going on for so long. And I think because it's been going on for so long, individuals are extremely frustrated with the lack of change, with the lack of inclusion. And as a result of that, there's now a knee-jerk reaction to respond with quite a lot of anger, to feel like I need to be militant in my approach so that I can at least bring about sustainable change. With cancel culture, what we sometimes get wrong is we enact the punishment, which is justified at times, but we then don't leave room for the rehabilitation. We don't leave room for where to from here. The story doesn't end at punishment. The story begins at punishment. And I think we both have to play a role, those who are being punished and the punisher, to say, what is the end goal here? Can we collaboratively work towards a rehabilitation in quite a significant way and not a superficial way?
So then what can we do then on an individual level or on a structural, systemic level to rectify the problem?
Well, I think firstly we need to put the defensiveness aside. I think often when someone's cancelled, what have you, they go into defensive mode and they start trying to find ways to defend something that sometimes is indefensible. And I think we sometimes need to be quite honest about that and say, hey, I'm human. I made a mistake. And there's been mistakes that have been made for a very long time, and surely something must change now. And if you look at all the recent uproar when it comes to that, The call has always been, how long are you going to keep apologizing without actually enacting change? So I think that rehabilitation process has been the part that's been missing. And I think often people feel frustrated of what role should I play in your rehabilitation if you're not going to play an active role yourself to really say, I've transgressed and I need to make amends. So it sometimes becomes almost like a victim blaming sort of thing. I think we need to be very careful with that as well.
Sikandar, thank you so much for joining us and raising awareness. I mean, so many times we think apologies are enough, but I don't think that is part of the rehabilitation. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how organizations who have transgressed and gone against the curve by shaming certain cultures and colours, how they show up in this rehabilitated way. We appreciate it. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Sikandar. South Africa, please do head over to our social media platforms and let us know your thoughts on representation in the media.
I love the fact that Sikandar touched on the fact that, yes, if someone has done wrong, they should be punished, but at the same time, rehabilitation. I think, Palisa, that's something that's very important that we sometimes overlook. That yes, we all make mistakes, but we should also be allowed to recourse. We should be allowed to fix it somehow and not just be thrown to the dogs.
Absolutely. Now on social media, we have been asking everyone, level one. How excited is everyone feeling and what are they most looking forward to? If we head over, Unyali says, hi guys, I'm in Lesotho and I can't wait to see my sister in Pretoria. Hashtag Afternoon Express.
I know those feels. I know exactly how they feel because I cannot wait to get on the next flight home to go see my boy and see my mom. I look forward to it.
I know, it just touches my heart. I don't know about you, Kerry.
Oh, totally. I can't wait to see my family. I'm going to the Eastern Cape in 3 weeks' time, and yeah, it's the best.
It is the best. I have to read one more comment that is crucial, and we can't forget this. Austin says, hashtag Afternoon Express. It feels good to move to level 1, but most important thing, let's keep washing those hands, wear a mask, and distance yourself from your loved ones. Happy Monday, happy level 1. And as we're being happy, what are we cooking in the kitchen?
We are making a herzogi tart. Normally they're small little tarts, but we're making a big one. We're going big.
Okay, talk about going big. Head over to our Afternoon Express website to get all the ingredients and the recipe so you can cook along after these. Nothing beats the long-lasting freshness and quality taste of Clover fresh milk. Made with love by Clover. Nothing beats the long-lasting freshness and quality taste of Clover fresh milk. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back, South Africa, and happy Monday, Kerry.
Thank you. It's lovely to be back.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you in this kitchen, finally.
It's gorgeous. Last time I was here, it was a temp kitchen, so it's beautiful.
And today we are making a hertoggie tart using our Clover fresh milk. Now, one of the most loved treats that South Africans enjoy over and over again has got to be the hertoggie. It's a delicious jam-filled tart with a pastry base, and it's got a coconut topping best enjoyed with a cup of afternoon tea. Well, thanks to Clover fresh milk, today we show you this legendary dessert in a tart form.
Fantastic.
And you're going to show us exactly how to get the pastry ready, because I know you can have it with different types of pastry bases, but we're using puff pastry today.
So today we've just used some puff pastry, which we've chilled in the fridge and then lined a tartan and then lightly pricked the base and par cooked it. Because it's puff pastry, we need to cook it a little bit beforehand. When you're making the little individual ones, you can use raw pastry because it cooks so quickly. But a big one, we need to par bake it first. So we've done that and pricked it nicely so it doesn't shrink.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Can I ask you then to pass that to me, because what's going to happen now is we're going to make the filling. So you're going to start whisking. You've started actually with the eggs, and you're going to mix in the sugar and the coconut into that mixture. And I'm going to do the other part, which is the jam part, which is normally apricot jam, but we've decided to do it a bit differently today. So how we're going to do it is I'm going to heat up some milk in the pot here, and then what we're going to do is, because normally it's done with jam, we're making our own like makeshift jam today. And what I'm doing is using just normal Clover fresh milk that we love so much, that stays fresh for up to 18 days. And in there, I'm pouring in my dried apricots, which I just rehydrated with a bit of water. And then all of that is basically just going to absorb the flavor of the milk, but also rehydrate it again as well. And then this allows us to blitz it and put it into the tart and make that deliciousness at the bottom.
Great.
But do you have any tips specifically when it comes to such a tart, if there's any...
You know what? It's so nice. It's such a simple thing. You can change the flavor, do what you like, use what's seasonal. So stone fruit we don't have at the moment, but we've got some other great things that we can use. So you could make a citrus one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe do a little bit of a nachi vibe going. You could do something fun in it.
That actually sounds great.
Or change, do a fig when figs are in season, or a strawberry. So it's quite nice. You can really play with the flavors because it's such a simple thing.
It is. And I think the one thing I love about South African cuisine that we're slowly starting to embrace is that our food is actually really good. I feel like so many people don't embrace this as much.
It's delicious.
Our food is amazing. But most times when you go out to places, it's mostly other cooking, other cuisines that people tend to enjoy. But I'm starting to see a lot of restaurants right now embracing a lot of flavors. I mean, I went to an ice cream place yesterday and they served the most delicious flavors. Actually, I'm not even going to tell you guys about it. I'm going to try and steal some of those ideas and make them here on the show.
We'll have to do a milk tart ice cream. There we go. You can put some clover and some traditional South African flavors in there.
Okay, South Africa, you heard it first. I'm guessing you're going to come and show us exactly how to. You're going to make it and then come here to Afternoon Express to show us how to make it. And another thing I love about this Clover fresh milk, I don't know if you know this, besides the amazing blue bottle, is that it takes 55 quality tests before it gets to us. So by the time we get this milk, I promise you, it's probably the best milk on the market.
I'm sure.
So I'm just going to go in then with my apricots that have been sitting in that liquid in the milk for some time now. In most cases, in the culinary world, we call it macerating, right? When we it's basically what we're doing now. And I'm just going to blend this up together, and then that becomes the base of our hertoggie tart. And then once I've done doing that, you're gonna...
Yeah, I'm just whipping up here. I'm trying to get a bit of a meringue going.
Okay.
I'm just slowly adding the sugar. We've got it to soft peaks. We don't want to get it too stiff because we're going to pour all that coconut in.
Okay. So let me just quickly blend this together. So all we want is, we don't want it to be too runny. We want it to be nice and thick. So this is why we've left it nice and chunky here. And this is now the jam that we're going to use for our tart. And then after this, you're going to give me that deliciousness that you have over there. And then we're going to go into the oven and bake this delicious, amazing dessert.
I'll just pour all of this in, whip it in while you are busy.
Have you ever tried any other flavors of this tart before? Have you ever made one?
No, to be quite honest, no, but I've eaten lots.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, before today, I'd actually never, ever made, tasted, or even enjoyed the
I've definitely eaten quite a few of them. They're delicious.
All right, so this is basically where we are now. This is the first part of our dish. I don't know if you'd like me to give you some milk for that, just to...
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, just to loosen it. It's a bit dry.
A little bit goes a long way, and there we go.
You could make it a little bit decadent. You could add some cream.
Oh, okay.
You'd have
that sounds like an idea.
A naughty Herzog tart. Oh, is that cream? Oh, that's enough.
That's enough, yeah. And that's basically it. So that's it. You've just added that amazing flavor on top. We're going to put it on top of our tart. Would you like me to pass you a spoon? And the one thing I love about this as well, we're talking about enjoying it in different ways. It's delicious just as a tart as it is right now, and you can enjoy it with any toppings. I love the fact that we've gone and made it even bigger. So yes, you normally get it in small individual herzoggies, but now we've made a huge tart which you can keep for later. So you have one slice now, have another slice later, enjoy it by yourself. I would probably eat this whole tart because I've got a sweet tooth, Kerry. I'm just putting that out there. I would probably make this and enjoy it by myself for an entire week because I don't ever get tired of sweet things.
Oh no, I'm with you on that one. Have you got some delicious toasted coconut there?
I do, actually. Let's actually hand it over to you.
Top before you bake it. Yeah,
there we go.
Just some nice flaked coconut.
And then we go and bake it in the oven. Yep. In South Africa, that's basically it. That is our herzoggie tart that goes into the oven to bake. It's going to come out nice and delicious and tasty. And that's one definitely refreshing way to end a long day. And to get your hands on this recipe and many more, go to afternoonexpress.co.za. But in case you missed it, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover. All the love, all the goodness in one meal. Dumi, come on over here, girl. That is this is delicious. You know, talking about Heritage Month, as we trickle into Heritage Day on Thursday, I'm very excited to dig into all of that. A big shout out to Chef Kerry for coming through and bringing us such an incredible recipe. I know it's my first time trying this herzoggie tart, so I'm looking forward to the flavors and the taste. Oh, shout out to Kerry indeed. Now on social media, we have been asking everyone, you know, what are you most looking forward to with level 1? But more than anything, what I'm looking forward to is seeing the encouraging stories that come out of lockdown, just like Serlina, Boyd, and Faith. I mean, I have to read a comment from Ukamo, and Ukamo says, Serlina, Boyd, you are such an inspiration to young girls and boys. Hashtag Afternoon Express. I'm loving that. Hey, Dumi?
I am enjoying that. I'm just looking at the fact that there's something that my son can look forward to when he's much older. Yes, he started to read now, but at least there's books and magazines and stuff that's actually directed to him, something that he can actually relate to. You know, sometimes you read stories and you can't relate. So now there's seeing that makes me believe, okay, at least he's represented and he doesn't feel alone and feel like, who can I speak to? There's actually something that represents him in the market.
I think that for myself, that was also so pivotal and so key growing up. And I loved what Usikanda Kala said. And the same as Omar Tom. They essentially were just like, you know what? Sometimes, especially with our generation, we do see representation, but we're represented. And that's where that nitty-gritty comes in. But thank you so much, South Africa, for continuously feeding us on social media, as much as Tumi is not feeding me here. By showing us all of your comments. I mean, I have to read a few more comments before we say goodbye today. We've got Spirited London, who said, I will get a chance to do my practicals as I couldn't due to the hospitality industry being affected. I know one of the other industries being affected big time is the entertainment industry. I mean, we even saw artists in Durban marching and fighting for them to go back. So hopefully with level 1, we'll start seeing a lot more people making that money.
Girl, I'm just, besides making the money, I'm trying to spend some of that money. I'm trying to be out there and support all these local businesses that have finally opened up again. Because I mean, I've been itching to go out, girl. I've been itching to out. I cannot wait to go to my first event within protocol, obviously.
Within protocol. No, everyone, South Africa, this is a cry that although we are on level 1, it doesn't mean we need to slip up and forget our responsibilities. Let's make sure to social distance, wear those masks and sanitize those hands. But from us here on Afternoon Express, I'm very excited because tomorrow is another Tuesday cook-along Mzansi. So please do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za right now to get the full recipe and ingredients list. And you can cook along with us and the talented chef Rico. Until then, good night, stay safe and happy eating. Bye. Clover has been a part of our South African heritage for over 120 years and wishes you all a happy Heritage Month. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.